Anything else to share with our PBS viewers?
On this episode of Finding Festivals, we're following the river to locals' favorite festival food.
Going, to the food alley.
Feeding a Highland cow.
I bet my doggy would love you.
And trying something sweet. Additionally, we'll explore these must-dos in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Join me at the 2023 Three Rivers Festival.
Hi, I'm Haylie Robinson, and I'm a former festival queen turned executive producer. Yeah, kind of a career change. If you want to learn more about Finding Festivals, connect me on social media, and get a sneak preview of Season 2, then check out the links in my description below. As always, friends, I advocate for you to keep finding festivals and enjoy the show. Fort Wayne, Indiana is full of activities for the entire family, including the Three Rivers Festival.
Known as the Northeast Indiana hub, Fort Wayne is the second largest city in the state. Since 1969, the city has come together during the annual Three Rivers Festival. Traditional rides, food, and activities can be found at this annual event, as well as helicopter rides, a marketplace, and many local businesses participating throughout the 9-day festival. While browsing through the Emporium, I ran into Jessa from Visit Fort Wayne, who shared her love for the city.
Annually, Fort Wayne sees around 7 million visitors a year.
Wow.
Isn't that incredible? That's a lot of people coming to enjoy a tournament to our city, enjoy festivals like this, coming to see our attractions, getting away for the weekend. We love that the number kind of really showcases what makes us special here and why tourism is important to our community.
Did you always know you wanted to get into tourism?
No. I will be honest, I did not know tourism was a thing. I thought that was hotels and attractions. Until I found this job at Visit Fort Wayne, did I know that there was another organization to help support those tourist aspects of our community.
How has your perspective changed from being a local to now advocating for the destination?
I think before I got this job, I knew I really loved Fort Wayne and wanted to stay here and support the community in some way. Maybe it was a different job or whatever it might be. But it just has grown since I've had this job. Grown the love that I have for this community, the pride that I have for the people that are here, the jobs that are been created through the work that we're doing at Visit Fort Wayne, just so much more appreciation for what we have here and want everyone to know about our community and how special it is.
I'd imagine you've been coming to the Three Rivers Festival for probably most of your life,
yes,
right?
Exactly.
What is your favorite tradition?
Oh, it would have to be Chalk Walk. Going out to see that on that first weekend, the parade maybe has just ended, the whole crowds coming to see Chalk Walk, enjoy the art in the park, kind of enjoy that, and then move on to maybe going to the Midway or going to Junk Food Alley. That just whole experience of that first weekend is just so exciting, and it's a buzz with just so much life and fun.
It's been a few days since the Chalk Walk event, but it's evident this street was once full of color. While in this part of town, I explored the art inside the Fort Wayne Museum of Art, and I'm gonna be honest, the glass wing is showing me a whole other side to glass art. Oh look, there's even some credit given to my backyard, the Glass City. There is a lot of planning that goes into art displays, and Charles provides me some background on both the Chalk Walk and Glass Wing curation process.
Well, the Chalk Walk started maybe a year before I got here, on a much smaller scale, and someone who was volunteering at the museum in their travels saw a chalk walk done in another city and thought, what an interesting concept. Then you've got probably as many as 200 artists now. They're out in whatever the heat is, laying on a hot street and doing the designs that they've usually laid out on some kind of drawing earlier. And then the public is watching them do it right there in the front of everybody. There's your piece coming to life. It's a living, breathing art happening.
And so we're currently in the gallery, and this is somewhat of a newer part of the museum, correct?
Yes, it is.
So what started the exhibit?
Well, we started in here, in this sequence of 3 galleries, because the ceiling height turned out to be perfect for lighting the glass in the test runs we did several years ago. We said, okay, let's do the first big glass show in here. So that was called the Summer of Glass, and we did 3 shows, 1 in each gallery, and it was a huge success. I mean, people came from everywhere to see it. So people kept saying, well, why can't we have glass in the winter? Why can't we have glass in the spring?
So this really started as just kind of a summer program, but then the community spoke and you delivered their expectations, and furthermore, they helped build this entire collection.
That's right.
So it's really a community project.
It is a community project. Our goal that we're working on is to have the largest collection of glass sculpture in the entire Midwest.
Wow.
And actually, we're closing in on that goal.
And I want to go back to the kimono. That is a statement piece in the gallery, to say the least.
It is.
What was kind of the thought behind not only acquiring that, but even the artist? They do a weaving technique?
Well, there were glass artists that specialized in stained glass windows first, and then they got the notion that if they took the pull, so you take a blob of glass when it's hot and you pull it and cool it. So now you have a stiff thread. Now if you reheat that thread, you could give it shape. Well, by putting some stiff threads together and heating them very carefully in the oven, they will weave together. They'll melt together. And so they spent 18 months just figuring out how to do it. And they created 4 kimonos for the seasons, one for every season. And they're the only kimonos in the world in existence. They're extremely valuable now for their rareness. And they're all in private hands, except this one, which was in private hands, and the owner decided to donate it to us. And given the public's reaction to it, she did the right thing.
So what season is this kimono representing?
This is called Spring Dawn.
I was very much admiring the piece, and I did get a spring feel, but the dawn part was shocking to me because the purples made me feel like it was more twilight.
Yeah.
I love it, but I love the colors, so.
They're beautiful colors.
What do you love most about the festival?
Well, I love the Art in the Park event. That would be number 1 for me. Number 2 would be going to the food alley and indulging in something I probably shouldn't eat.
I always say happiness has no calories, so it's okay.
Well, I'm with you there. I'm going to use that phrase.
And now a message from our generous underwriters and donors.
Finding Festivals is brought to you in part by
Find some Lake Erie love? It's a sure thing. Learn how at shoresandislands.com and start an adventure today.
Toledo, more than you ever imagined. Learn more at visittoledo.org.
The Fort Wayne Museum of Art, Toledo Arts Commission, and by viewers like you. Thank you. Now back to the episode. Junk Food Alley is a crowd favorite at the Three Rivers Festival, and I can see why. There are so many options.
I have chocolate caramel, strawberry cheesecake, oh, to die for, so good.
While exploring the eats, I ran into John, the festival president, who shared more about the event and what goes into planning this 9-day festival.
It was started in 1969 to really get people to come down to Fort Wayne to celebrate the Fort Wayne businesses, what downtown has to offer, and here still in 2023 we're still having great parks and great businesses and that we support.
So 1969, that's incredible.
Yeah. The first the parade that year was actually on the river, which right here at Headwaters Park where we are now, this wasn't always the location of Headwaters Park. It's changed over the years, but the last 20 years or so we've been in Headwaters Park, and then right here at the Three Rivers where the St. Mary, St. Joseph, and the Maumee River all convene.
What's the preparation look like for that?
We actually start in June of moving into this park. So over almost 2 weeks, we actually start setting up in the park, getting different vendors, setting up our stage, our midway ride, and then we have to tear it down in 3 days. We have over 400 individuals that help during this festival.
So you've been the president for the past 3 years, which means one of those years you dealt with a very hard time for our country, which is the pandemic and the shutdowns. What was it like from that time that we shut down to coming back for the first time?
Absolutely, taking canceling a year of the festival really for our community, and not just the festival world, but the whole country was going through some difficult times of not being able to go out. And one of those things is during the summer, when in July, everyone knows the Three Rivers Festival comes around. So as things started clearing up with regulations and we knew more about COVID, we were able to have the festival in 2021. And it was really exciting to see everyone come back down and start to get back to some normalcy. We had a record number of attendance. I think everyone just was excited to come out and support the community and kind of get back to something that's normal and fun.
So to kind of touch on that, what are some traditions that make the Three Rivers Festival unique?
Well, I mean, we have our the river excursion, so we give out free pontoon boat rides on the river. We have our waiter waitress competition, so that's where a lot of local restaurants actually get the rundown and start setting up tables. And if you spill water or spill some salad, you get points deducted. Back in 1969, there weren't very many festivals. So Three Rivers was where you came to ride some rides, get an elephant ear, and come down to downtown Fort Wayne. So we have a lot of different things that have come and gone, and we try to reflect what the community wants and bring that to the festivals.
With over 235 restaurants in Fort Wayne, it's no surprise judges are extra critical during the server competition. One restaurant that has come out on top actually started out as a food truck.
Yeah, so luckily we started with the food truck, so we got to journey around Fort Wayne and build kind of a community on the southwest side of town, up north, and we ended up downtown with our basically our flagship location. So that's kind of allowed us to be able to take some of that, I would say, exposure from earlier months in the food truck, and to be now in the new density, almost like a big food court of downtown on the landing here. It's been awesome.
What is the landing? I mean, it's clearly a food hub, but how long has it been part of Fort Wayne?
So it's pretty much like the oldest street, right? The landing was literally where everyone arrived back in the day, and that's what made it pretty much so popular. But it recently got renovated and redeveloped over the past, I'd say now, 5-7 years. It's been a big project, so it didn't look like it looks like now. And there's just a lot more investment in trying to get some local entrepreneurs on the first floor, and there's a lot of living spaces above, but they try to preserve as much as possible as they could to keep the historic feeling on the block.
So would you say, because you're not a native here, you're actually from California, moved to the Midwest, is that really what inspired your menu? Because it's not a menu that we're used to seeing in this part of the country.
So I was born in California but came here at a really young age, so I would consider myself like a Midwest person in a sense, but there's so much things that we've been able to taste as we visit family members over there that there's just a different seasoning over there, right? And what I think is a lot more generations have been built from Mexican American culture. So you're deeply rooted in traditional ingredients, but there's a new perception of how these ingredients are supposed to be used, which led us to think there's no real Cali-Mex food in Fort Wayne. There's a lot of Tex-Mex, right? And you got different sauces, heavy cheeses. I just think Cali-Mex was something that hadn't been really leaned into in this market, and we thought it would be great because it resonates at a personal level.
I have to acknowledge that when you walk in, it is really a gorgeous space. What was kind of your vision with some of the art that we can see here at the restaurant?
I'd say pretty much my wife is responsible for all that, and because most restaurants end up just being either just drywall and maybe some wood paneling, we kind of want it to be an expression of the city and other arts that are in the restaurant, right? Luckily, we get to be the ones doing the food and the cocktails, but to be surrounded by that sort of, I would say, that real local community that's not just local food, it's a local destination, that's what kind of would add it to the intent of why we wanted it to look the way it does.
Wait. Okay, there we go. That's really fun.
International Village celebrates the diversity found within Fort Wayne. The vibrancy and movement of these skirts are captivating, but got me wondering, how are they able to flow like that?
This material is between polyester and cotton.
Okay.
Which is lime material.
Oh, okay.
The red skirt is I think it's full polyester, so it's more heavy. So you can see the more waves in the skirt because of the heaviness.
I love watching it.
You look like it's like a wave. The ocean's waves, yeah.
It's an extension to the body movement.
Yes.
It's almost it's part of it.
Yes.
Beautiful. Now the final dance, there was a pairing of both a gal and a guy, and there was a hat. What style of dance was that?
That is the jarabe tapatio.
Yeah. So what do you love most about teaching the youth this style of dance?
The learning experience, the capacity they have that they didn't think they have, and they start moving the skirts, the girls and the guys moving their feet and hands with the head and everything is like, wow, I can do this. So they know they can do it.
The International Village is one of many special events throughout the 9-day festival. Jerry has been a longtime board member and has seen how the Three Rivers Festival has evolved to be as inclusive as possible so all can enjoy the event.
We look at it and we try to cover the diversity of a community. And that way everybody feels part of that community. We don't see that often in a lot of other activities in a community where that's our goal, is to bring everybody together, have fun for the greater enjoyment of their life. It's just like today we had a sensory day, and just see those people be able to enjoy this environment.
Now unpack that for me. What is Sensory Day?
It's for those that have a disability, and some of them, and it allows them, those that where loud noises will cause problems. All the ride noises are all shut off, and we had probably over 300 plus young adults here.
That's incredible. I mean, what we've come to learn so far is that the Three Rivers Festival really is dedicated to bringing the community together, and you even take that extra step and accommodate and try to include everyone, even having this special sensory day.
Yes.
Do you have a favorite must-get food item from Junk Food Alley?
Well, I've been in charge of Junk Food Alley for 30 years, and there are a couple items. One is the Saudi Babi meat on the stick, and then sirloin tips with potatoes and mushrooms.
Oh, so you're like a meat and potatoes kind of guy, is what I'm hearing.
I guess I would say that.
It's not the Three Rivers Festival without a pontoon boat tour. Visitors can board down by the riverfront at Promenade Park, which is one of many throughout the city. Exploring the parks is a great way to get moving.
So we just added a new park, but it's 88 total.
Wow.
Yep.
All throughout the Fort Wayne region.
Correct, yep.
So we're here in Saloman Farms, which is unique because we're actually, here in Fort Wayne, it's a city, but kind of hidden is this farm which has all kinds of walking paths, animals. I mean, how did the city come together and decide this plot of land needed to be preserved as a farm?
So actually, there was a family, the Saloman family, came to America, purchased this land, and in '95 actually decided that they wanted to donate it to the Parks Department and the city of Fort Wayne. So what they saw, that this area was becoming more developed, and they had 170 plus acres here. And they felt like with new housing additions going up, all sorts of businesses going up in the area, they felt like there was a need for green space. So the city and the Fort Wayne Parks Department is grateful for their donation, but the property was actually donated to the city.
It goes beyond people being able to visit, but you actually host programs throughout the year.
We do. In the summer, we have a 6-week day camp, so we have about 145, 160 kids here for 6 weeks in the summer. We have a farmer's market, and typically that's every Wednesday night. We do cooking programs as well.
Ooh.
Yep, so come here, learn how to cook, get a feel for that farm to fork sort of experience. So it just gives people a feel of Saloman and Fort Wayne and farming and interacting with animals and lots of great stuff. So,
Of course, and of course the Highlander calves, right? Highland calves.
The Highland calves.
Highland calves.
Yep.
They're so cute.
Yes, yep.
I just want to give them a big old hug.
Hi, baby. Hi. Oh, you're so cute. Yes, I bet my doggy would love you. Yes, he would.
Gotta share, gotta share. I got one hand, guys. Okay, hold on. Wait, hold. There you go. Oh, maybe that would work, huh?
Yes. Ooh. Oh, you're making a mess.
I'm clearly having fun with the cows. I mean, how could I not? Frankie and Mickey are so adorable. I could stay here all day, but my hands are slimy and there are more farm friends to meet.
It's better than nothing, right, fellas? You like the rain?
I'm sorry, I don't speak fluent goat. I don't know what that is. I'm assuming no if you're in here.
Larry shares a similar passion for the animals on the farm.
The Highland cows are amazing. They're one of the most easygoing cow breeds. I mean, they're a very docile breed. They love humans, and they're so cute. The goats have grown on me because they're just, you have no idea what to expect. When you go in with the goats, you have no idea what's going to happen.
Oh, we know who's the adventurous one.
I mean, they're going to gnaw on something, they're going to be chewing on your shirt, or they're going to be jumping on you. Our new baby goats, if you kneel down, they're going to be jumping on your back, you know, so they're so much fun. I mean, and Junebug, which is our mini horse, the only one we have out here, he was actually given to us by someone that had him in their backyard in Fort Wayne. So I'm not sure how big this backyard was, but, and he is a sweetheart. I mean, you can put a carrot in your mouth and he'll just come up and take it out of your mouth very gently. And
What is your favorite part about bringing the youth out onto the property?
probably seeing some of the kids that's never been on a farm experience spending time with the animals. You know, I mean, and some of them will be a little hesitant, but as the week goes on, they get a little more comfortable with the animals. And I mean, animals, I think, are important to all of us. I mean, I think that's pretty cool, seeing them adapt to them and becoming more comfortable with them as the week goes on.
The animals at Saloman Farm Park are sweet, but you know what else is sweet? Chocolate. I took a tour of DeBrand Fine Chocolates and sampled some of their treats. Caffeine and chocolate? Sign me up.
I have to stir it a little bit to get the chocolate in there. Ooh, little chocolate.
I was inspired to explore the chocolate confections of the Connoisseur collection.
These three are part of the Connoisseur line. They are hand designed and they are the most adventurous in flavor. This is called the Passion. There's a cute little chocolate sticker on there. It says Passion Romance. I'm excited. The ganache inside is actually a white chocolate with passion fruit. So while you get the sweetness of the milk chocolate, you're met with almost like a sweet tartness inside, and it's a great flavor experience.
Melissa shared some of her favorite creations at DeBrand Fine Chocolates.
Probably our caramel pretzel bar. It's our rich, buttery caramel surrounding salty, crunchy pretzels, and then that's all surrounded in our sweet milk chocolate. So it's chewy and crunchy, sweet and salty.
Mouth-watering.
Yes.
All of the flavors in one, right?
Yes.
When it comes to the tour, I mean, what can people expect when they explore the chocolate process?
Yeah, when they come in and check in for a tour for the Three Rivers Festival, or any tour really, we start with a brief little presentation, and then we'll stop briefly in our shipping department, explain how we handle our shipping year-round in the summer months and in the winter. And then we move on to our 3 production kitchens, where they'll learn about each kitchen, what they prepare for us, and of course try the things they prepare as well, because that is the best part.
That is the best part. That's why I'm here.
That's right.
Just give me the chocolate.
That's right.
How many tours do you see throughout the 9-day duration of the Three Rivers Festival?
Great question. We do 5 tours a day, and I think to this point, obviously not including today and tomorrow, we've had about 530 people on tour.
Wow.
So
That's incredible.
And Friday and Saturday is always busy towards the end of the festival. So we'll see.
Oh my, yeah, so it's still ticking at this point,
It is,
right?
yes, yes.
What is your favorite part about your job?
Probably interacting with our customers. I just have a lot of regulars. I've gotten to know them over the years and introducing them to our product because, you know, if you come in unhappy, you're going to leave happy because chocolate makes you happy.
Yes. Just smelling it, I'm already in a better mood.
Yeah.
A traditional festival with a dedication to inclusion and diversity is what makes the Three Rivers Festival in Fort Wayne, Indiana stand out. I look forward to the next festival we find. You can visit findingfestivals.com to learn more about the series, get updates through the digital newsletter, and connect with me on social media where you can access more content on festival fun.
They also have helicopter rides here at Headwaters Park during the festival.
We have great. There's a fly. What are your plans for Sunday? He's at least replying. It just won't let me finish my question.
Excuse me. Sir.
Yeah.
We're filming
We've
here.
got a moment, please.
Silence is what we need.
Yes.
That was not going to be a bite. Can I pet his head? Will he peck me?
They're friendly. I so bad want to jerk, but then I'm afraid you'll never hold another one again.